as far as I can tell, you're using a lot more light than the average houseplant owner would. So maybe you could break down your setup.
Yeah, definitely. So as you said, light is super important when growing, and that's probably the biggest challenge we're all facing indoors, right? We have ceilings, which is not necessarily in line with how these plants grow in nature. So I do have, I lived in four places as a renter over the last 4 years. So I've experienced various different apartments, houses with different light conditions. And the end of the day, I always go back to using grow lights to at least supplement the light. I think it's the number one mistake people make. They underestimate how much light these plants actually need or want to really thrive to their full potential. And humans are terribly bad at judging light levels. And it's very hard for us to say, like, yeah, if I were a plant, I'd be happy with that. So I always
Right.
let the plants tell the story. So I supplement light with grow lights. I have some vertical ones. I have some hanging from the ceiling, pretty much any corner that I want to fill with plants. I usually put a grow light in there. And I let the plants tell me whether they received enough light or not. And you can
And
do,
how are you determining that? Like as you watch a plant, let's say you have a beautiful aeroid that you're setting up, you have a light that you want to put on, and you're just sort of guessing at placement and light intensity. What is the plant telling you where you might say, oh, this is too much, oh, this is not enough?
yeah. I mean, most likely it's going to be not enough. I mean, if it's too much, the plant is probably going to burn pretty quickly. So that's a telltale sign. But
Sure.
the lack of light is usually very, very long spaces between your leaves. So internodal spacing. So the plant is trying to grow really long in search for light or throwing out
Ah,
runners to grow somewhere else. Really long petioles as well. So the longer the petiole, the more the plant is usually trying to reach for the light. Obviously, depends on the species and so on as well.
sure.
And leaf size. And as the plant matures, every leaf should get bigger than the previous one. Obviously, there could be repots and so on that might impact that as well. But the general trajectory of the plant should show me that there's an increase in leaf size. If I notice a decrease in leaf size, commonly happens during winter, for example, then I know that that's probably based on insufficient light. So I then try a different spot and I really try and let the plant tell the story. And it helps me form this connection with the plants as well. Like I kind of develop an understanding. But of course, you can also measure light if you want to. I try and stay away from it. I want this to be really like a touchy-feely hobby, right? I want to learn something. I don't want to go open an Excel spreadsheet and it becomes a little too too much for me. But
Sure, sure.
technically, that is well the most scientific way of doing it, and that way you've got guarantee. But I like the trial and error.
Watch the full episode right here and subscribe for more new episodes every single week.